To take the discussion further, the problem that also exists with the concept of law and technology is the idea of jurisdiction. What do I mean? Law is an entity that is restricted by jurisdiction. To put it simply, Indian law is applicable within the Indian territory. Although the information technology law has a specific provision relating to extraterritorial jurisdiction, basically meaning that the information technology law can be applied beyond the Indian territory. Although this provision exists, for the sake of this example, we're going to take the very basic nature of law being restricted by jurisdiction. Technology as an entity, on the other hand, does not understand jurisdiction. So how do I explain this to you? If, for example, I am a person who's living in the United States of America, and for some reason I decide to host a pornographic website in India, I can do so on a Indian web hosting service provider, like for example, GoDaddy.com, where I go and purchase or take a website on hire, host pornographic content on it, all the while I'm sitting in the United States of America. The information technology law has a specific section under section 67 which talks about prohibition or the inability to publish and transmit content which is lascivious or prurient in nature. Lascivious basically means sexually exciting, and prurient means something that provokes lustful thoughts. So the Information Technology Act actually says that you cannot publish or transmit in the electronic form any material which is sexually exciting in nature. Now, if I have hosted a pornographic website sitting in the United States of America, I have clearly violated Section 67 of the IT Act. The problem is, although I've violated this law, the jurisdiction of this law is applicable, makes the law applicable only within India, which basically means that I am outside the purview or the ambit of the Indian jurisdiction, and therefore the law cannot be applied to me. Let's now bring in the concept of extraterritorial jurisdiction. Section 75 of the Information Technology Act says that as long as a computer system or a computer network located in India has been used for commission of said crime, the nationality and the place of commission of the offense does not matter. Let me repeat myself. The nationality of the individual committing the crime and the place from which such person commits the crime becomes irrelevant as long as a computer system, or a computer network located in India has been used to commit the crime. That's what Section 75 talks about. Now let's look at the example that I had given. I'm sitting in the United States of America. I decide to host a pornographic website in India after buying a domain name from a web hosting service provider in India. Theoretically, I have used a computer network located in India for commission of the crime. However, even though in this situation, we are saying that the information technology law can be applied to me, the reality of the situation is, since I'm located outside India, for the law to enforce itself, we will require me as an individual to be physically present within the jurisdiction of this country to be able to apply the law. Now, this throws up two separate problems. One, jurisdiction incompatibility between law and technology. Secondly, the idea that technology today has made it possible for the human being to commit crime without the physical interface being at the scene of the crime. On the other hand, law, to be able to execute itself, requires the human body within the jurisdiction. Currently, we do not have any set of laws which can imprison or punish the virtual person. The real person is required within the ambit of the law for the law to be able to punish. On the other hand, technology has made it possible that you're sitting in a different jurisdiction, you're outside the purview of the law that you're violating, and yet be able to commit crime. The same kind of problems exists when we're talking about financial frauds which are committed from outside India. We're talking about crimes relating to people using other people's identity, Facebook-related crimes that take place nowadays. All of these issues have jurisdiction and the problem of the entity no longer being relevant in terms of financial fraud being committed. In the earlier days, what used to happen was, if you had to steal money, you had to be physically present in terms of a robbery in a bank or in terms of cheating another individual. You had to be present at the scene of the crime to commit such crime. Technology, however, has made it possible, and it has created a disconnect between the crime and the criminal, which basically makes the job of law extremely difficult to punish and bring the person within the ambit of the law.